Well, hi, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. This is an update for the All Hazards Consortium, sensitive information sharing environment. It's Wednesday, July 2nd, and we have a couple of tropical items to talk about. And boy, a whole lot of rain throughout the state of Virginia, too. I'm going to create a little scroller and at the end of this so you can look and see. We've gotten a lot of emails, people asking how much rain fell in Virginia yesterday. Also had quite a bit of rain in Maryland as well. But first, we're going to talk about the tropics and a brief forecast. So right now, the GOES satellite continues at work 24/7, 365. I've got the sea surface temperature data turned on as well, and you can see what's going on. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing here for you and show you what it looks like because we do have a couple of things going on. Right here, circled down here in the Pacific Ocean, that is Hurricane Flossie. Hurricane Flossie's winds have come down. It's actually entering cooler water, and it's going to be decreasing in intensity. I'll get a little bit closer in just a second on Flossie. And this is the other area that we're watching for potential development. This area in the Atlantic, perhaps over northern Florida, or the Northeastern Gulf. And that is because this frontal system that has plagued the state of Virginia and North Carolina today with lots of rainfall is slowly moving south. And that is going to add to some instability and some mixture of a upper level low pressure system around Florida. That's going to be drifting to the east somewhat, but we may have enough spin in the atmosphere to generate a surface low pressure system, and that will be early next week, probably late over the weekend, early next week. However, if you do live in the state of Florida, it looks like that front is going to be a line of convergence for moisture and the sun heating things up. So expect quite a bit of rain in the state of Florida over the next several days, starting about Friday, Thursday into Friday, and then over the weekend. It doesn't look like a great 4th of July weekend in central and northern Florida, but that's why we're watching this area here for potential development. So let's get a little bit closer and let me show you what it looks like from the GOES West perspective. This is GOES East, and I want to take you over to GOES West because that is giving us a better perspective of what's going on here. And so here is Flossie, Hurricane Flossie. I want to put on this on full screen here so you can see what's going on. It is moving away from the mainland area of Mexico and south of Baja, California, which is also Mexico. Cabo San Lucas is down there. It's not going to be impacted other than wave action and rip currents. There could be quite a few rip currents over the next several days in the Cabo area. But let me put on the latest statistics and what it looks like. So this is Hurricane Flossie as of 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock Eastern time. So a couple of hours ago, advisory number 15, Flossie weakens as it passes south of Baja, California. Maximum sustained winds 100 miles per hour. So it is a Category 2 hurricane. Minimum central pressure 974 millibars. So it was on the cusp of becoming a Category 3 storm. Located right now 19.5 north, 109.8 west. Continues its movement to the northwest at 9 miles per hour. And what I want to do here is show you GeoCollaborate because we do have a lot going on as far as that's concerned. And what I want to show you first, I know it looks like Flossie is headed to impact these two islands. The one to the south is called Isla Sirocco. Isla Sirocco has about 250 people on it, mainly a little marine base. This belongs to Mexico. That is this island to the south right here. And the one to the north is called Isla San Benedicto. Isla San Benedicto. No one lives on this island because it's purely volcanic. Beautiful island. Let me show you what it looks like here. Let's switch over to GeoCollaborate, and I can zoom in a little bit closer. So here is Isla San Benedicto, and look at this. This is the crater, the volcanic island. So that's the one to the north. Okay, that is the one here, right in there. And the one to the south here, let me show you that one, Isla Sirocco. Isla Sirocco looks like this. Not very populated at all, an old volcano, but it does have a runway on it. You can see that. And we do have people that live down here on the southern tip in this area here. So you can see some houses, and there's some marine piers right in here. So it looks like Flossie is going to pass to the north of this island, which is good, but they will get quite a bit of wave action, that's for sure. This is GeoCollaborate. I've turned on a lot of the NOAA ocean observing systems, buoys. We have some ship reports out here as well about what's happening. If we take a look at this particular station, the 5-day plot of water levels. So there are waves out here. We can see that more data if we click on that link right there. But this is the latest National Hurricane Center forecast, and you can see where the storm is expected to go. It is on a downward trend as far as intensity goes. The next time period, 12-hour forecast, expected to be down to 80 miles per hour, gusts to 100, but 80 mile per hour winds. And that is going to create quite a bit of wave action and large swells in Cabo. So that's going to be, there's going to be a problem there. Rip currents are definitely likely. And Puerto San Carlos, also this whole area of Baja, will be getting some big wave action. Also along the coast of Mexico here, Mazatlan, and then down to the south. Even towards Acapulco, they're still getting some wave action and rip currents. But you can see the official Hurricane Center forecast takes it to a tropical storm, then to a subtropical storm, and then a subtropical depression as it moves into much colder water. Here is that water that it's over right now. You can see the warm waters, really warm waters, are behind it. Now it's heading into cooler waters, so it's going to be decreasing in intensity pretty quickly. Wind field might expand just a little bit, but there's no doubt the islands here are going to feel some windy conditions and some very large waves. So on the south side of the island, they'll have a little bit more protection from that as well. But I can back out here. We can see into the Gulf on this angle. You can see the Gulf is quite warm. The sea surface temperatures. Let's take a look at the what it looks like from the sea surface temperature anomalies. Here we are once again. And you can see the blue areas. The blue areas are the sea surface temperature anomaly. And that is something that is really knocking the strength of the hurricanes down when they move into this area. And that's what's going on. It's moving into this area here, Flossie is, and it's going to be quite cooler than average, even heading out just south of the Hawaiian Islands. But there are patches of warm down here in the Gulf. We have warm temperatures, primarily warmer than average. There's a couple of patches here that have been stirred up, remember, from the previous tropical storm that made landfall there. And that is looking, that is out of the way. That's gone. It's not in the forecast anymore for any type of impacts. But even through the Caribbean, you can see, and in the Atlantic, this is the main development region here. We get later on into the hurricane season, warmer than average and very much warmer than average off the coast of the southeast U.S. As we get a little bit closer, we can do that. Let's dive a little bit closer here, and I'll get rid of this drawing. You can see the Gulf. That is very warm here. Temperature in Clearwater yesterday, 87 degrees was the water temperature there. So anything that develops in this area will have warm enough water to sustain some sort of development. At least it's giving a lot of moisture into the air, and that's why we're concerned with some heavy rainfall in the northern and central parts of Florida. Why is this blue here along Florida? That is because they've had east and northeasterly winds upwelling colder water when it hits the shelf and then comes up. It upwells some cooler water in this area. So that is pretty typical in that location. But as far as the satellite's concerned, that is Flossie. We're going to be saying goodbye to Flossie very soon. We also have the chance for another system to develop. We'll move this south a little bit over the next 7 days, and that's reflected here in GeoCollaborate. I go full screen here and then move to the, I'll just slide this to the south just a little bit. This area is an area of potential development over the next 7 days. 0% probability over the next 2 days, 50% probability. So it's likely that we'll have another tropical system in the Pacific here over the next 7 days. Okay, let's go up towards the north and talk about this one. I know a lot of you are concerned about this, particularly those of you living in Jacksonville, living in Tampa, Orlando, Clearwater, Naples, down towards Sarasota as well. The National Hurricane Center has now raised the probability a little bit for this development to 40% over the next 7 days. The likely time frame of development is probably Sunday into Monday. And if you notice, the area in the Northeast Gulf of Mexico is getting smaller. Some sort of circulation could develop over the Florida Peninsula and then move over into the southeast part of the U.S. in the Atlantic waters here. I'll show you on the model what it looks like in a field we call Vorticity, which is a fancy word for spin. We get to see what the models are forecasting for spin in the atmosphere. But now that we're at a 7-day, 40% probability, this changes color to orange. If we get above 60%, then it will turn red in the 70%, 80, 90%. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. These are all ocean observing platforms here in the Gulf, and we can click on them. Some of these are not operational, 42039. No recent data there for that one. That's why we have to keep maintaining these. But you can see here, look at this air temperature, 82.9, and water temperature, 84.6. Water temperature here is warmer than the air, and that's plenty warm to induce or at least be an ingredient for a tropical system to develop. Winds right here, west-northwest at 13.6 knots, gusting to about 16 knots. That's close to 20 miles per hour. And then closer here into Tampa and Clearwater, look at this water temperature, 86.9 degrees, 87 degrees. That's the reading that I saw yesterday for Clearwater. And even on the East Coast here, where we're having some of the upwelling, water temperatures are a bit cooler, 77.4, and wave heights 2.3 feet. So we're getting that easterly wind or northeasterly wind upwelling the cooler temperatures. Even here off the coast of Jacksonville and Georgia, temperature 75.2 for water temperatures. So this is what we're going to be watching. It's not a huge concern for a tropical storm or a hurricane to develop and impact the southeast. What I'm more concerned about is the low pressure system taking its time to get together and creating a bunch of rain. And I'm going to turn off the ocean observation data here so we can get a little bit more clear in what we want to talk about here. I'm going to look for the Weather Prediction Center's forecast for extreme rainfall over the next 3 days. So here it is. This is the probability of 3-day excessive rainfall in Florida and eastern North Carolina, all because of this potential development in this area. So from Naples up to Tampa and up to the Big Bend, Homosassa Springs, up towards that area, there could be anywhere from 3 to 4, perhaps 5 inches of rain over the next several days, over the next 3 days, as this front sort of hangs over Florida, and then we might get some sort of circulation developing. Now, the models are indicating right now that it'll be Sunday into Monday. Nothing to be afraid about. If you're concerned about any strong hurricanes, don't worry about that. It's not going to be that. It just may be a low pressure system that hangs for a couple of days. And when it does that, that always creates the chance that we could have localized flooding. And if it does drift to the north here, that's why we have an increased likelihood of excessive rainfall in eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. And I do want to point out here from yesterday's rainfall, all of these W's, they are wind damage reports in the last 24 hours. Trees down in southeastern Pennsylvania, southeast of Harrisburg, in these areas across Maryland and into Virginia. Lots of wind damage reports. Here's one in Orange, Virginia. I just clicked on several trees blown down around a cooperative weather observer's residence in Somerset. So a lot of these come from trusted Skywarn spotters or Weather Service observers, and they get put into the official record. GeoCollaborate monitors this 24/7, 365. So whenever there are wind or tornado reports or anything like that, we can see those. And even as we dive in a little bit closer, you can see exactly where those reports came in around the Washington, D.C. area and in southeastern Virginia. So let's do this. Let me show you from the standpoint of the satellite picture and go a little bit closer in to the 1 minute high resolution mesoscale sector over Maryland's lower eastern shore, southeastern Virginia. You can see these are high, thin cirrus clouds on the back end of this front. It got sunny with a lot of cumulus clouds around the Baltimore and Washington area today. So no storms. It's dry enough now where it's a different air mass, but just to the southeast over the Maryland beaches, some periods of sun this afternoon. But look at these thunderstorms well off the coast. They are still bubbling up there. And even in eastern North Carolina, look at these strong thunderstorms that are bubbling up over the Outer Banks. So remember, lightning can kill. When you hear thunder and thunder roars, go indoors. All of these are thunderstorms that are forming. Lightning can strike when you least expect it, even when the storm is about 5 to 10 miles away. Okay, let's take a look at some of the model data. I just want to show you something that's interesting here. I'm going to show you first the rain, where the precipitation forecast looks like it's going to happen over the next couple of days. And you can see that front. That front is really hanging down here. And when it hangs down, that's an impetus for rain, thunderstorms. And some of the rain could be very heavy and cause localized flooding. So that front is going to slowly sag to the south here. And by Sunday into Monday, it's going to be situated like this. And it's going to be a focal point for rain. So yes, Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando. Doesn't look like the best weekend. It doesn't mean it's going to be raining constantly. But when the sun comes out, it continues to add more destabilization to the atmosphere. The ground, that hot air rises, cools and turns into clouds and storms. That's where you get those typical Florida showers and storms that can drop a lot of rain. But this is a lot of moisture, a lot of tropical moisture down here in the southeast. So this is the southeast sector. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this forward in time. This is from the 12Z run of the GFS this morning. And I'll just go forward step by step here. And you can see how the rain just kind of hangs around. There's a little low pressure system that tries to form here early Saturday morning. It's weak. Don't worry. It's not a hurricane. It's not a tropical storm. It's just a low pressure system that is forming. And that means rain. And even the model is trying to forecast. GFS is not good with convection, which is thunderstorm activity. So it's trying to develop that stuff. But notice where the low just kind of hangs around. The model just puts it all over the place between Saturday and Sunday into Monday because it jumps around. It doesn't know exactly where that center is, which means it's a broader area of low pressure. And so that's why we're going to keep monitoring it to see what happens. But then you can see by Monday morning, early Monday morning, we have a low pressure system off the South Carolina coastline. Still, a front and moisture is hanging over Florida. and it looks like it might pump some of that moisture into eastern North Carolina. And so that is why we're looking at a possibility of some heavier rain, excessive rainfall, which is why the National Weather Service is looking at that. They're also looking at the front that's going through right now and those storms that are forming. As a matter of fact, I'll take you back and show you that 1 minute data that's full screen. So here it is. And those thunderstorms, these are producing the excessive rain that is that possibility from the National Weather Service. So, as I think about it and the product of excessive rainfall outlook for eastern North Carolina, meaning that it's probably for this front that's over here right now. So this excessive rain is likely and here's GeoCollaborate full screen. This area is likely because of the storms that are developing right now and are moving through this area. So not really the development of the tropical low that may happen later in the week and over the weekend. That's where this excessive rainfall product will be updated each and every day to reflect any particular development areas that you can see here. And so this is the next 3 days. The development of this low will be over the next 5 days. So this is Wednesday, so we're talking Friday and Tuesday time frame. But we're going to be watching this very, very carefully because I know that you're concerned whenever we mention any sort of tropical development, and we want to keep you posted 100%. So over on the model data, what I want to do is switch it over here to another product called Vorticity, and it's going to be the 850 millibar of Vorticity, so we can see spin at about 5,000 feet in the atmosphere. Okay, so here we go. Here is the model output. Look at that. It says GFS 850 millibars. That's a pressure level, roughly about 5,000 feet, 6,000 feet in the atmosphere. And this forecast is valid on Tuesday. I'm going to take it backwards here, and you can see what it looks like. I'm going to show you some initial spin. Here's some spin right here over Florida. Again, it's not a hurricane. It's just spin in the atmosphere. It's not a tornado. It's just a low pressure system that wants to develop at the higher levels, 5, 6, 7, 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. And that's what you need to kick off showers and thunderstorms. So this is valid Saturday morning, but watch what happens as I move this forward. You can see the low pressure system then causes a little bit these wind barbs to close off and circulate. That would be the center of what we call vorticity or spin in the atmosphere. And this is the area where a low pressure system may develop. So coastal Georgia, South Carolina, again, no hurricane is going to be developing, but you might get more enhanced rain. And that is Sunday afternoon. So the July 4th weekend, not the best one. You're going to eke out some sunshine, get out there and enjoy the day. Just remember, if you hear thunder, go indoors. Don't remain on the beach. Don't remain in the water. I heard a conversation earlier today of a guy saying, hey, I went out for a run yesterday. It was great. It pouring rain. It felt so good. And the lightning was flashing above me. It was so awesome. Well, it's not going to be awesome if he got struck by lightning. He could be dead. So it's nothing to play with. Lightning can be very, very dangerous. Every lightning bolt as one that could kill you. So this is what the spin looks like on Sunday night into Monday, 0Z, and then we'll take that on up and look how it moves up towards the Outer Banks and then off the coastline. So that's what the Vorticity product looks like. Again, I just showed that for some interest, kind of geeking out a little bit. We're going to be following this very, very closely, and I know that you all are very concerned as well. I don't see any impacts to critical infrastructure on a broad scale for the July 4th weekend that would be impacted by weather. We do have scattered showers and storms. We have some fire danger out to the west, We'll be back tomorrow with another update, a little bit more detailed around different parts of the country. And until then, what I'd like to do is just scroll through the next couple of minutes here, what the rainfall totals were in the state of Virginia. So if you are curious about any observation stations in Virginia, go ahead and check this out. Thanks so much for watching this update. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications. If you'll collaborate, please take care of yourself and watch out for your neighbors. They really do